Welcome to Fashionably Broke.
I'm kidding, don't use that.
Just wear whatever the hell you want.
Literally just...
We're living on a McDonald's budget.
Just because you're broke doesn't mean you have to dress like it.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Fashionably Broke podcast, episode 93, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that right? Yeah, 93.
Dang.
93. We're getting closer and closer to 100. We are very excited to get into this episode. And, like we've stated before, we're not going to get into things, heavily. But happy day after election. I hope by now, either way, we know who our next president is, the 47th president of the United States. So I know everyone has been looking forward to this, not really looking forward to this. Everyone is on edge no matter who you're voting for. So yeah, just take some time to yourself, deep breath. Everything will be okay either way. It is what it is. You can just get out and vote, and most of y'all have done that. So I just wanted to start off the podcast with that because I think Wednesday everyone is going to need to be cool, calm, and collected. To say the least. But anyways, like we always do, highs, lows, weekend recaps. Let's get straight into it. Maddie, what have you been up to? Highs and lows, take us away.
Well, first, before I even get into my highs and lows, I just want to just quickly mention that we are thinking and praying for everybody in Spain. Valencia was hit really hard with rains, and they had insane flooding, and a lot of people did not survive. So praying for everybody over in Spain. Okay, anywho, highs and lows. I think that my low for the week is that daylight savings happened, and
oh my God.
I now will no longer be able to see the sun. So this morning I went into work and I saw maybe 10 minutes of sunlight. Walked out at 5:30 and it was pitch black outside. So
yep,
there go all of my happy thoughts, and we're gonna spiral into a deep depression. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna get ahead of it.
But yeah, so now that just kind of sucks. You don't think about it until it's all of a sudden you literally walk outside. It's only 5:30, but it's so dark outside that you literally can't drive without your headlights on. So,
and I also feel like year over year it gets darker earlier and earlier. Since when was it 5:30? And I didn't know because it's been storming here in Fort Worth all day, and it's supposed to storm all week. But I'm it is so dark outside. How? What? And
yeah.
Can we do away with this already and not have it get dark this early? God, please.
Well,
please.
And what sucks is honestly, Texas gets darker later than Tennessee, or specifically Nashville, because we're so close to Eastern time zone, and we're so high up and so far east that daylight savings sucked, but it didn't really suck that bad when I lived in Louisiana or when I lived in Texas. Here it sucks. Literally the sun starts to set at 4:45. Starts to set by 5 p.m. It is halfway down. 5:30, complete darkness. Literally complete darkness. So it's definitely an adjustment. And then too, you know how there's the winter solstice where it's the shortest day of the year, where the sun sets the earliest. Whenever winter solstice hits Nashville, the sun sets, it is complete pitch dark outside at 4:30.
What?
Yeah, during the winter solstice. So I'm just not really looking forward to that.
Yeah, no.
No. But my high is I am going to Baton Rouge this weekend for the LSU Bama game.
Oh my gosh, that is this weekend.
Yeah, it's
That's
this weekend. So I'm super excited, and I think I'm like planning something fun. Like I think I'm gonna make game day stickers for like me and my friends. I would say game day buttons, but I don't have time to get those done. But I think I'm gonna do some game day stickers. Like do some super cute, fun designs. Sorry, I could not get those words out. And yeah, so very excited about that.
That'll be fun. Oh my God, I can't wait to see all the pictures. I hate to even ask this. Are clothes on the way? Did we figure out an outfit, a vibe? What's the rundown when it comes to that?
So I have an outfit on the way, and honestly, it better work out or else I am screwed because it's the only thing that like I could really like put together in my head at least. I like literally have been searching for weeks to find something that like I don't know, just like everything is just like the same lately. I feel like there's nothing like, and everything is like black or brown or cream. And like,
that's where I thrive.
Well, see, but like that's literally all I've been dressing in for the past months. Like honestly, I feel like since I moved to Nashville, like color's been out the window. So like I just wanted something like really, cause like this is one of LSU's like biggest games. Like it all is always crazy. Like it's insane during the Bama game. And I just feel like my outfits have like been really slacking lately, just like even in everyday life. So I was like, no, like this outfit needs to literally be so good. So I just had so much trouble finding something.
So where'd you order from? ASOS?
No, Princess Polly.
Okay. I have been branching out to those lately because like I honestly feel like ASOS and Zara, they've just become very
everything
like
looks the
stagnant.
same.
Yeah.
It all looks the same. I was searching for hours through Revolve too, and like again, like I'm finding stuff I like, but like not for what I need.
Right.
Which sucks. But I'm really hoping that this outfit even looks remotely good. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I haven't ordered a backup, which I think after we record, I think I might order a backup just in case.
What color did you order?
Gold.
Ooh. Okay. I don't even know what you ordered. I want to know. I'm going to request a picture before it gets posted on social media. Actually, a picture tonight.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it to you. I have like a full idea in my head because like I really want to be like, honestly, I wanted to like kind of look like borderline, like someone's gonna look at me and be like, damn, she's doing way too much, but then look and be like, actually that kind of works.
Yeah, like who is she? She has to be rich and famous. Like,
so
who is this?
And we're leaning into like kind of like country vibe, so we'll see how it looks. We'll see. I swear to God, it actually better look good or else I'm screwed.
No, I think it will. I think your outfits always come together even when you say they don't. You're like, oh my God, this doesn't look good. I'm like, really? I would take that outfit in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so I really hope it works. There's also a chance of rain, which I'm not happy about.
Yeah.
So it better not rain.
Yeah.
That's all I pray.
I think it'll be fine. Every time it says it's going to rain, it's like for 5 seconds or it doesn't even happen.
Yeah.
So we're sending good vibes that it's not going to rain. It's already hitting here. You know, it's going to hit Louisiana and then it's going to be out and you won't ever see it again.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope.
Fun. Are you flying out Friday?
Yeah,
night?
Friday night, super late, which kind of sucks. So I won't land until like midnight in New Orleans. So I won't really even get to do anything Friday night, obviously, because I land at midnight.
Just prepare for Saturday because Saturday is going to be a big, long day.
Yeah. It will be, but excited, can't wait. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this past weekend, I went to like a Halloween party. We went out on Broadway, of course, which, okay, I know there was this whole debate on like when everyone was celebrating Halloween.
Yes.
I went out the weekend before Halloween and then the weekend after. More people celebrated the weekend after. 100%.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I could see that just because it's so like still on
It was
your
one
mind.
day after.
You know, yeah, exactly.
So
like, it's so still there, but then also like it's already hit November 1st, 2nd, and it's like, but like I think the first weekend was just like too early to celebrate.
it was way too early. Honestly, I think way too early. Like, yes, there were some people that were like dressed up, like out, and like I know a couple people that did Halloween parties.
Yeah.
No, this past weekend, everyone out in a costume. So many Halloween parties, even going into Saturday, like it was insane. So, yeah, definitely the weekend after, yeah, Halloween was the weekend everyone celebrated, at least in Nashville.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I feel like that's fair enough. I did not celebrate either weekend, so I would not know what any of that looks like.
Well, what are your highs and lows, and what did you do this past weekend?
I think I would say my low is the time change. It's just like a lot of adjusting, and I just don't I don't like it getting so dark because then I feel so tired so much earlier. But honestly, like this is the schedule I need to get on now, is going to bed earlier and waking up earlier to where it still feels like you're not losing any sleep or gaining any sleep. You know what I mean? Because like we woke up Sunday morning, and like if you wake up at 8 a.m., you're actually waking up at 9 of what your body's used to. Because I need to start going to the gym in the morning, and like for the life of me, I just cannot get my ass up. And like I
don't think I'll ever. Eventually, when I become a gym person, because it will happen eventually. I know for sure I will not be a morning gym person because I am not a morning person. Like, honestly, don't really talk to me in the mornings. Like, I take a full-on long time to wake up.
Yeah. No, I see that. But yeah, that's probably my low. My high, which we'll hit on a little later in the episode as well. I'm going to a new gym and I start personal training on Thursday.
Fun.
So I'm excited, but like nervous about that. I don't know. I just get weird when it comes to like those things in like a gym because like I've never done that before. But yeah, I'm excited about that. This past weekend, I went home. I went to Worst Fest in New Braunfels. That's always a fine and dandy time. I meant to tell you, I actually saw Macy from high school.
Oh, fun. I was about to say, you probably saw like a million people.
So, I mean, it was only like a handful of people, but I saw her and she's like, oh my gosh, like it's been so long. I was like, yeah, it's so good seeing you. And she's like, I just want to let you know, like I listen to the podcast every week and like I love it so much. And I'm like,
shout out.
Oh my God, like people just don't realize like how much that actually means because like you don't even realize like the people who are listening and tuning in weekly, like we haven't talked to Macy in years. Yeah. And it's just so cool. So shout out to you, girl.
Yay.
Thanks for stopping me saying that. But yeah, it was fun going and doing that. Had some chicken on a stick, beer, funnel cake, you know. I really need to be hitting the gym about 10 times a day after everything I ate this weekend, but that's okay.
That's fine. I keep eating Halloween candy like nonstop.
Yeah, I didn't even buy Halloween candy, so I'm so glad I can't even do that because I would be eating 10 pieces a day.
I've been eating it.
But that's really all I did this weekend. Highs and lows. This upcoming weekend is pretty chill for me, so I'm excited to live through you.
Shocking. It's chill for you.
I haven't been doing anything, and it's like getting on my nerves.
No, that's good. You of all people, like, are always go, 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 go. So, like, I feel like you need these weekends that are, like, nothing.
Okay, but, like, it's been, like, 5 weekends now.
No.
Like.
No. I feel like even when you say you aren't doing anything, you actually are doing something.
I know.
Every single time.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, my God. Okay, one thing that I need to mention from last week. I met Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh my God, yes. And you didn't ask for a picture.
No,
He was literally taking pictures with other people.
Well, sort of. Like, yes, sort of he was. But also, I don't know. I just am, like, not the type of person to, like, ask for a picture. Me saying that as in, like, I've met so many famous people. But, like, actually, I've kind of met, like, a good handful, I feel.
Way more than I have,
like,
for sure.
Of famous people. And I've only ever gotten a picture with, like, one. So, and that was Lainey Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, I met Food God at Fred's, didn't ask for a picture. Obviously, I met Keegan-Michael Key, which was cool. Except I did mistake his wife for his manager. But I didn't say anything to her face. I just, in my head, I was like, oh, his manager. And then she was like, oh, I'm his wife. And I was like, oh, that's okay, cool.
Well, that's good. It was just in your head.
I didn't say anything. But yeah, so like literally met him so casually, so casually. He was staying in a hotel right next to my work, which I probably shouldn't have said that. He's not staying there anymore. So don't go try to go look for him, which is like, that's so off the record. I ended up like figuring that out. It's kind of a long story. Because how I figured it out was I like texted my friends and I was like, hey, subtle flex, I just met Keegan-Michael Key. And one of my friends was like, shut up. Like, my other friend is like met him too. And I was like, shut up. And so then we started texting and she was like, dude, I literally met him twice in like a span of 3 days. So like where she works compared to where I work, there's a hotel in the middle. And I was like, oh. So then I texted my friend that works at the hotel and I said, off the record, is Keegan-Michael Key staying here? And he said, off the record, he just checked out. So I was like, makes sense. Makes sense.
He was making his rounds, man, around the hotel.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I'm trying to think, what other famous people have I met? I've met Lainey Wilson. I got a picture with her. I'm like, who else?
I don't think I've met anyone.
Food God. Got a picture. No, I didn't get a picture with him. There's a couple people, and I was thinking about that the other day after like meeting him, and I had a full list, but I didn't write it down because like I have not asked for pictures.
Right.
Normally,
half the time it's like not even in a good place or like somewhere where you like could. You know?
I just like try to act low key.
Yeah, like it's cool, it's chill. I've seen you a billion places. Like it's not a big deal.
You're famous. You never know. I could be famous too.
You know? We're on the same playing field, so like I really don't need a pick.
Exactly. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. That is like my first like just random celebrity sighting since I've lived in Nashville, because apparently they're everywhere.
I was about to say, that's kind of shocking that is your first one, especially being in Nashville, because they are everywhere.
Yep. My first
everywhere.
one.
I was actually so freaking, mad's not the right word, but Bondi Boost, they did like a event here or in Dallas for the Sabrina Carpenter concert.
So good.
And like so many of like the influencers were like in town, like going to restaurants I knew, and I was like, I'm like, first of all, why can't that be me? Second of all, like the way I would have driven there so fast if I knew they were all there and just like tried to plug myself so hard. Like, I'm sorry, that's a place where I would plug the hell out of myself. It's not like those are influencers compared to like, you know, a famous person, but like, you know, it is what it is. They're famous in my mind. But yeah, that's honestly kind of something I was like jealous as hell about.
Oh my God, that reminds me of another thing. Last night, I had the strangest dream. So I was hanging out like in my dream. Okay. You were also there. I was hanging out, or like, okay, I don't even know, like, I'm trying to set the scene. Okay, you know all of the like New York influencers, like Acquired Style, like Bridget and Danielle, and then like a few of the other girls, like Kit, all of them. So for some reason, you and I. So, okay, it's really hard to explain, but basically it was like you and I were invited to this event with Tarte to like see this like movie premiere, and the like theme was like super like hearts like everywhere. It was like pink and red hearts. Like I don't even know. It was like some random movie that obviously doesn't exist.
Okay.
And it's like I was invited, but I like lost the invitation. And so
no.
it was like, but, and then too, like, obviously I still worked my full-time job. So it's like I couldn't take off work. So I was like, you were like, okay, like, this is when we have to, like, go to the movie. So, like, went to the movie, but then for some reason I got confused, okay? Because, like, it was hearts everywhere, and then I was like, oh my God, is it Valentine's Day? It was, like, this whole thing. But basically, Acquired Style, like, Bridget and Danielle and, like, all of those girls were there. And anywho, like, we went and saw the movie, and then there was, like, a bunch of events afterwards, but I had to go to work. And then after work, I was trying to get back to y'all, but I didn't have the invite. So, like, I didn't know, like, where to go. And you were, like, texting me, like, oh, my God, the hotel room's so cool. We got all this stuff. And I'm like, where are you? Where are you? I can't get to you.
Tell me why that would be some, like, real-life shit to happen.
No, I know. That's, like, the problem. And, dude, I was so stressed because then, too, like, I was fully believing it was also Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh, my God, I didn't get Morgan, like, a gift. Like, I need to get him. Like, I totally forgot. It's Valentine's Day in November. And then I kept asking. I was like, Valentine's Day is not in November. Like, I'm so confused. And you're like, no, it's Valentine's Day.
And I'm guessing this was based in Nashville, since you were going back and forth to work?
No, I have literally no idea. Not a clue.
Honestly, it's kind of just like God giving us signs that, like, we're getting closer, you know?
Well, you were there. I was trying to get there, and it didn't work. So I don't know what kind of sign that is, but I was real stressed. When I woke up, I was so stressed, too.
Dude, I've been so off topic. I've been having the weirdest dreams of my life, and they're like stressful dreams where, like, I wake up and I'm like, oh God, like, oh, we're good? Is everything okay? Like, and I can't get out of it, and I need to.
That's like that's the first dream I remember in like a while.
I've been remembering a lot lately, which I never do. I've never been the one to, like, remember dreams or, like, not really dream or whatever you want to call it. But recently, like, I don't know what's changed, what's happened. My brain's on something else, all I can say.
Stress.
Maybe. I mean,
I think that's what my dream was about because, like, I just have a lot. Like, I know I feel like I say this every freaking episode. I just have, like, a lot on my plate right now and, like, just trying to juggle it all. So I've been stressed. And so I'm like, that dream 100% is a reflection of it. And I'm like, that dream stressed me out even more. Like, and I'm still thinking about it.
I love how, like, that's your reasoning. And I'm like, no, I'm not really that sure. Like, damn. I don't know what's happening. It freaking is what it is. But talking about stress, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about breakouts, skincare, all the above of things that come with stress.
Yeah. So, okay, I thought that this would be something good to talk about because honestly, like, everyone goes through this in, like, you know, adult acne. And even acne if you're a teenager or, like, in high school still or, like, going into college.
Yeah.
So, lately I have been, my skin has been breaking out so bad. All over, like, my face and my cheeks and, like, in between my eyebrows, on my eyebrows, and, like, my hairline has been so bad. And my back, which I know is gross, but, like, my shoulders and, like, my back have been breaking out so bad. Yeah. And it's frustrating and, like, it's been bad to a point where, like, I went and got my hair done this weekend and I was like, I don't even want to go, like, without makeup on because, like, I'm embarrassed and, like, I just felt, like, so, like, ugly and disgusting. And I was, like, really thinking about it and I, like, haven't felt that way, like, the need to, like, hide my skin or just, like, not go out without makeup on in a really, really long time. Because, like, in college, I struggled with, like, really bad acne for a while. And then it slowly just, like, started to clear up. Where, like, it wasn't as bad. Or I was just, like, used to it. And then over this past year and a half, my skin has been great. Like, it's been great. And I haven't really changed anything from there other than, like, there's a couple factors. Because everyone's like, oh, it's probably stress. It's probably stress. And I'm like, yes, but, like, I've been stressed out before and, like, my skin wasn't breaking out like this. Like, yes, maybe I would get 1 or 2 pimples at a time. But now it's, like, the entire bottom half of, like, my face and around my mouth is just broken out. Like, almost like, for a minute, I thought it was like a rash. I was like, do I have, like, am I allergic to something? Like, what is going on?
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, I can't tell. I did start, like, a new facial wash, but, like, I actually quickly, like, figured out I think I am allergic to it, so I stopped using it. And, like, I only used it for, like, maybe a week, and that was, like, a good few weeks ago. But I don't think I don't think it would cause me to, like, break out more. It was giving me just, like, super, like, red, like, skin.
Right.
And, like, patches, like, underneath my chin and stuff and, like, on my neck. And so, like, I stopped using that. But one thing that I've sort of has changed within probably the last 6 months is taking my birth control consistently. Consistently. And it's been 6 months and my, like, body now is regulated and used to it. And in college, when my skin broke out, like, really, really, really bad, it was when I started using birth control. Which everyone is like, Maddie, that doesn't make sense. Because people are prescribed birth control to help with their acne.
Right.
I swear it has the opposite effect.
No, I mean, I can almost say that. I mean, I've been dealing with really difficult acne myself. Probably within the past, like, 6, 7, 8 months, if we're being realistic. I was on birth control for years. And then I decided to get off birth control. And I was off birth control for probably, like, 7 months. And I just kept waiting and waiting because everyone's like, you just have to wait for your hormones to regulate. Like, your face is going to calm down. Like, the acne is going to go away. And it just never did. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start taking birth control again. Like, I don't feel confident in my skin. I don't feel like, I need to get rid of this. And ever since I've started birth control again, like, it has not helped. So I really just think I'm going to flush all my freaking birth control down the drain and start focusing, obviously, like, on what I'm eating and, like, my gut health and all of that, because I just feel like that's so closely related to all of it. And, like, I've never been the one to, like, focus on gut health or, you know, eat this kind of food, eat that kind of food. Like, I've never been, like, you know, someone who's, like, eating outrageous things, outrageous fast food 24/7, but I've never been one to be, like, cut that completely out of my diet. Not saying that I will. That's a little much. But yeah, I've been struggling a lot lately as well. And it's like what I was struggling with before I started Accutane of, like, cystic acne, like, bad. And, like, it just makes me so mad because, like, with cystic acne, like, there's really nothing you can do about it. Like, you know, it's not at the surface. Like, it's not something that you can, like, pop or do this or do that. Like, it's just there and it hurts like no freaking other. I really do like pimple patches. I feel like that just like calms down the irritation. And I honestly, like, when I get acne that's like at the surface, I've been better about like not messing with it. Yes.
And that's been my problem because I feel like I haven't had acne like this in a really long time. And granted, mine isn't like cystic.
Yeah.
I have had cystic in the past, and it was like right when I first started taking like birth control. It turns out I was like, my body did not react well with that birth control anyways. And so then I like quickly got off of it. And then that, like, my face calmed down for sure a lot. And like, because too, I was also thinking about, okay, like, what have I been eating? My diet really hasn't changed. It honestly has gotten better, a lot better. Like, I really don't eat out at all. If anything, it's Chick-fil-A probably once a week, if that.
Right.
I have been eating a lot of candy, aka chocolate, and I think that too, like if I eat chocolate, like milk chocolate, I will always get a breakout, especially like around my chin. So I think for sure that's probably one thing. But yeah, I was about to say pimple patches because like I have been without pimple patches and I keep meaning to go to the store to get some. And I'm like, to me, it makes a huge difference. Like even if it doesn't fully go away, it does help quicken, I feel like almost the process because it takes down like it calms down the irritation and like it being super red and like really in your face, like it definitely helps. And then another thing too, I feel like that really helped me kind of like when my acne started to like really decline and like my skin got really good was simplifying my like skin routine to literally just a really good face wash that like your skin reacts well with and then a moisturizer, and that is it. And so I know, and I still have to go buy it after this whole issue with trying something new and then kind of figuring out I think my skin might be like allergic to it. The Rose Poussey has always worked for me. So I'm like getting back on that bandwagon to like see if this helps my skin.
I need to try that because I've always like wanted to, and so many people have said great things about it. So I really need to try that.
The best. It like
because I've never been like a skincare girly. I've been a face wash and moisturizer. Like sometimes I think less is more, and like I say that with the exact same thing with my hair because everyone's like, "Oh my God, your hair looks so good, so voluminous." Like, yeah, of course, part of it's genetics, but also like I'm not weighing it down with like a shit ton of products.
No, see, me, thin, fine-haired girl, products, good products are key, or else your hair just looks like you are John Rat and you have 3 strands. Hair products, I do swear by hair products. I swear by them, but just the right ones that like are good for your hair, and like you really have to test it out and like figure out what works for your hair. But skin, no, I fully agree. But like La Rose Posay, again, I've been out, and that's when I decided to like, oh, I'm gonna try something new. Nope, shouldn't have done that. But La Rose Posay, oh my God, the one for like acne prone skin. The best. At first, like when you first start to use it, I feel like sometimes your skin can feel pretty dry, but like not a bad dry.
God.
No, it's like not like a bad dry. It's like, sometimes like when you wash your face and your skin just feels really tight. So like that's always what it feels like, but then you just lotion up afterwards because it doesn't like dry out your skin. But that is the one thing that truly has like been consistent and helped. I think. And then other than that, especially with my forehead acne and like my hairline, my only thing is because like my skin is breaking out right now and my Botox has worn off. I think that's why my forehead is starting to break out now, because Botox helps prevent acne.
Really?
Yes. So it's like if you get it in your forehead, like if you're acne prone on your forehead and then you get Botox, it helps. If it doesn't 100% go away, it decreases it like an insane amount. So like I used to always get breakouts like in my eyebrows and like right in between here. I haven't really gotten any since I've gotten Botox until now because my Botox is pretty worn off.
That's crazy. I never knew that whatsoever. But hey, I'll take your word for it, and if that's the reason, shoot me up, man. That's all I have to freaking say. But I do want to go on like a skin journey because like when I was first out of college, I had the most perfect skin ever. And I just don't know what happened to that. I don't.
That's been me these past couple of years. Like I say years because I truly don't know. Like it had drastically gotten better like throughout college. It was never perfect, but like the last year or so, my skin honestly like was really good, and I would maybe get 1 zit a month, which was so great. But now it's been just like all over, just like the texture and like it's like, I don't know, it's like hard to conceal, and like I have definitely been messing with it, which it's hard not to, especially if like you haven't had it in a while. But basically, all of this to say is it's really hard to get acne as an adult, and I just need to constantly remind myself that every single person goes through this. Like, yes, you could look at someone else's skin and be like, oh my God, it's perfect. But then like last month or even a couple of months ago, they probably were in the same position that you were, where like their skin is breaking out and they're embarrassed and like they don't know what to do, and like their skin breaking out is stressing them out even more, like on top of already how stressed that they already are.
Right.
And just like I just constantly need to remind myself that it's gonna be okay, it's gonna go away eventually. Like I just need to like be patient and take care of my skin and like do what I know will work. It doesn't go away overnight. And I think that's like my main thing is like, I wish it went away overnight, but it doesn't. And I just have to...
Just take it with a grain of salt and it'll be fine. I feel like Alex Earl has really like opened my eyes to like all of it, being like, hey, like it's okay to have acne, like look how my skin looks half the time, and like like I just got full freaking glam, and in these photos I look perfect, but like it's not always like that like in person. So I feel like that's something she's praised about all the time. But yeah, she's definitely made me just feel like a little more comfortable and confident of like, this time will pass. Like, you know, it's just a bad week. My skin is just hating me this week. But it also reminds me of like, I need to be taking care of myself. You know, if that's how I'm eating, if that's me working out, if that's me getting a full night's rest, like all of that is going to affect your skin in some kind of way, and some more than others. Like it is what it is. Some people can eat like crap and have crystal clear skin, and some people, you know, eat one bad thing and they're having breakouts for weeks. So it kind of just, you know, you got to find what works for you, and it'll all be fine.
Yeah. And what works for you doesn't always work for others too.
Right.
Because like I know sometimes, you know, of course you go to your friends and you're like, oh, my skin is breaking. You try to copy
like all their skincare, and it is awful.
Doesn't work for you. Or, you know, they're like suggesting one thing and like, you know, it doesn't work. Either go see a doctor or just like, you know, figure out, I feel like kind of like what works, what doesn't. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's just like, okay, obviously this doesn't work. So let's regroup. Let's try something different and go from there. Because I know for sure mine ain't sleep, because I am getting more sleep than I think I ever have.
Yeah.
Ever.
I don't know what mine is. I'm just whack, and I just... on the topic of health, I will say I'm really wanting to get an Aura ring. I feel like anyone and everyone has been talking about it, and it's just more... I mean, like, yes, you can tell it's an Aura ring, but, like, I just am not an Apple Watch girly whatsoever.
I have heard more about Whoop and not Aura rings. Like, I've heard Whoop is really good.
What is Whoop?
It's, like, it's a ring that, like, tracks literally everything. They even create different programs for you on, like, how much sleep that they suggest you get. Like, a diet that they suggest. I've only heard about Whoop.
I've never heard about that.
No, and they have, like, all of these things, like, through the Whoop app. I don't even know. Like, you can get, like, almost quote-unquote, like, a personal trainer. Like, basically that you can, I don't know. They, like, will basically create, like, a whole program for you by tracking everything and, like, what you need. And then...
Oh, I've heard of Whoop, but it's a wristband. It's not a ring.
Oh, I thought it was a ring. Never mind.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of them are getting a lot more high tech. But yeah, I've heard of Whoop. This girl at my old job had one, and it's definitely, you know, more personalized to you. But I just want to know, like, I love having my step count, but like, I'm not wearing my Apple Watch 24/7. Like, I'm just not. And like, I have like the first gen. It probably like doesn't even work anymore. But something I really want to do is track my sleep, to see like how I'm sleeping, because like I've just never been a good sleeper ever. And like I need to sleeper. My mom says that same thing. The same thing. She's like, my head hits the pillow and I'm out.
I'm
And
out.
I'm like, I wish.
Last night, I think I fell asleep within like 2 minutes.
I freaking wish. I mean, never in a million years could I freaking do that. But yeah, I just really want the ring, and it tracks your cycles too, and just like your body temperature, just like so many different things where I'm like, I want this. But it's $500.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So I don't know if I'll be getting it, you know?
So, I mean, I obviously know that they're good, but I've just heard so many people that, like, get them and, like, it consumes them. And it's all they think about. They stress over, like, oh, my sleep score wasn't good. Like, and then they freak out. And then they're like, my whole day's ruined because my sleep score wasn't good.
Right. So that's another thing that I've heard is, like, you wake up and immediately check your sleep. And you say, like, oh, I got shitty sleep, so yeah, it's going to be a shitty day. And, like, you're setting your vibe for, like, the whole freaking day. Yeah, so I've heard that, too, where I'm just, like, because, like, you know, I try, but, like, realistically, how do you fix your sleep? Me wearing a ring? And, like, honestly, like, I just feel like I'm going to talk myself out of it now. Like,
no,
I can't even fall asleep with a ring on.
For sure, like, just, like, I feel like it helps, like, hone in on, like, your sleep pattern, and it helps you create, like, a healthier sleep pattern. So, like, you know, obviously, like, your body's falling asleep at this time. Okay, if it takes you this long to fall asleep, then you should realistically get in bed at this time and actively...
At 7 p.m.
and actively try to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that you'll fall asleep at this time. Okay, and then it's like you're hitting your REM at this time. Okay, so then realistically, you probably should fall asleep at this time so that you can either hit your REM earlier or later in, like, your sleep pattern. Or, like, I don't know, if, like, you... What is the breathing thing? Like, what is it called? Like, you know, people that, like, snore, it's called something. Because that affects your breathing, so then that affects, like, how well you sleep at night. Or...
Is it insomnia? No, it's not insomnia. What is it called?
It's something like that, though. Because, like, insomnia is you can't sleep.
Right.
Sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea. So, like, of course, it tracks that. And then, I mean, have you ever tried, like, taking melatonin? Or something?
Yeah. Yeah, but, like, it would just be, like, an every night thing. And, like, I used to take the melatonin that was, like, the actual, like... I don't even know the brand. It's like a vitamin brand, like in the green bottle with the yellow cap.
Yeah.
And I took those in college, and I took it so much that it just stopped working. But like the sleep gummies, like the purple ones, what is that? You buy it at Target. I don't know how I don't know that. No.
Aussie.
Aussie. Ollie? Aussie?
Ollie. I don't know.
Something like that.
I've heard that the Lemmy ones knock your ass out.
So I've heard that too, but it's just like that shit's so expensive. Like that would be like a monthly expense, like a monthly subscription I would have to do. And it's just like, do I really need to be relying on a damn chewable to like go to bed? Like
I really do have to tell you, and I know I say this every single time, because I also used to have like a lot of trouble sleeping. In college, oh my God, I had the worst time. I was always waking up in the middle of the night or just, like, not being able to fall asleep. Right. I am telling you, it all changed when I stopped getting on my phone in bed.
Yeah.
All of it changed.
I couldn't agree more. 110%. I need to put my effing phone down. I know that.
Get a book and read that read that instead.
I feel like this is gonna, like, people are gonna be like, oh my God, that's so stupid. I feel like it's different when you live alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. See, I feel like that's when I really started to, like, train myself. Because, like, I would sit on my couch on my phone. And then when I was like, okay, I'm exhausted, then I would literally set my alarms, go get in bed, and, like, go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I need to be better about doing that. I just feel... I don't know. Like, if I'm up and awake and I can't fall asleep, like, I'm not just going to sit here for an hour staring at the wall. Like, I just can't. I can't do that. And then that's when I reach for my phone, and then 2 hours passes by, and I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like,
what if you... Sorry, now I'm just, like, I kind of want to like test it out, do a science experiment. So like what if you like that happens? Okay, so then instead of like getting in bed and like scrolling on your phone, like you get up and like you go do something. Or like go like get up and like go to your couch and sit there and scroll.
Yeah.
Or like turn on the TV or like I don't know, freaking do your dishes. I don't know. And then like once you start to get tired again, then try to go lay down and go to sleep.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a great idea, but I always feel like
she's like, but I'm not gonna do that.
No, but I always feel like I'm exhausted laying on my couch, and then I get in bed and I'm like, I just walked, the 20 feet and I'm up. Like,
yeah,
I just need to figure it out, and I need to like go back to when I was in like freaking middle school and like charge my phone in the kitchen or some shit, like, and just have like a real ass alarm clock to wake up to and not my phone. Like,
yeah.
So, anyways, enough about my issues and how to fix them. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, well, I probably won't get the Oura ring. I'm over it.
No, you should get it.
Yeah, but I think I'll become obsessed.
Yeah, that's why I did mention that, because I feel like you would. No, like, and that is, like, I mean that in the best way. Because, like, you are so, like, type A. Like, you are so, like, very on top of things. And, like, you actively, like, try. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, you are, like, self-aware about that stuff. And, like, you want to know. And, like, So, me, I would probably forget that I owned it. And then it would get lost in a drawer for, like, months. And then I'd be like, oh my God, where is it? I can't find it. And then I would tear my entire house apart looking for it. For it to only be in like in a drawer, in a random drawer. Or in a random bag. Tends to happen a lot.
Yeah. No, I can feel that. But I do want to go to this bottom topic before we hit on the rest, just because I feel like it's in the same category.
Did you?
And,
did you see? I sent it to you. Did you watch it?
Yes, I watched it.
Okay. So today I stumbled across this video, which like I feel like almost everyone on the internet is going to see it within like this next week because it's kind of insane. So this TikTok video was basically comparing how many calories that are in a crumble cookie are like versus like other food. Like how much you can eat that equals the same amount of calories as like one singular crumble cookie. Okay? One singular crumble cookie. So they showed the cookie and then they showed versus like what you could eat for the same amount of calories. It was a croissant sandwich, a full salad, well like a half salad, like on the side, tomatoes, everything. What else was on there?
A donut.
A donut, which is like that's insane. And then like there was another plate and it had like a full peach on it. It had like a quarter of like a cosmic brownie. And then it had like a half of a muffin. It had two little like brownie squares. It had, I know, some like celery sticks. What else was in there? Some cheese, I think. Like cubes of cheese.
It was a good mix of like you could make this a meal, but then it also included literally probably 5 or 6 different desserts just
on
like
top
in a smaller like at a smaller like a third or a fourth of a cosmic brownie or like a brownie bite compared to like a whole ass brownie.
And it was like, okay, yes, sure, like the crumble cookie, if you get the large one, that's 4 servings. But it's like if you eat the whole thing, it's like 570 or 60 calories or something like that.
Oh, I think it's probably closer to 1,000 or 1,500.
But the sugar content was like 57 grams of like your daily value. Like it was something insane. And like the doctor was like, this is insane. Like you should never consume that much sugar in general.
Yeah.
And it's like to all the people that do like the weekly crumble reviews, I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah, and like some of those people are taking some big ass bites out of every cookie where I'm like, holy cow. Like I don't think I've ever ate like a whole crumble cookie, but I don't know because then I think back of like I'm having little slices of every single
cookie.
one.
So that's like your equivalent, like that's like basically half of a cookie right there.
Right, right. But I mean, I've known from the beginning because of my wonderful mother,
How bad they are.
The health queen, how like horrific they are for you. And I know it's talked about, and I think it's talked about a lot more than a lot of people think it is, but I feel like there has to be some like warning label.
No,
golly.
I literally feel like it should be illegal. Like
No, like I didn't want to say it to that extent, but honestly,
No, I feel
yes,
like it should.
Anyone who has had crumble before, like their cookies are excessively big. There's no reason for the cookie to be that big. The idea behind it, you know, changing the flavor, love it. Awesome. That's great. Make it a regular size cookie.
Yeah.
Like, and you're selling 4, 6, 12 of these at a time to a freaking probably 10-year-old who's going to go in the car and try every single one of them. Like,
it's just wild. It was wild.
It's bad. People do weekly reviews on them.
What was wild was just like the comparison of like what else you could eat instead. And like that comparison was insane.
I mean, that was like a whole day's worth of food.
Oh, and that was more food than I consume, honestly, in a day.
Yeah. I mean, it was freaking...
It was a lot.
Outrageous. And I'm going to be eating a third of a cosmic brownie more often is all I can say.
No, the fact that they did like, I don't know what, if it was like a third or if it was a quarter, I'm like, the fact that they like knew it was like that much of the cosmic brownie, I'm like, really? Because I was expecting them to do it half, and then they're like, no, just a quarter. I was like,
right.
Oh.
It probably was a quarter because it was a small little
Yeah, it was like a little sliver, which I
Yeah.
just thought was hilarious. But yeah, no, it like honestly just kind of blew my mind that like I would have preferred to eat everything else.
Right, right. No, and I think that's what like opens people's eyes is like when you do see that comparison side by side, it's like holy shit. Because
Insane.
you know, like crumble, they don't even have the nutrition facts on there.
Yeah.
Like you would have to look that up. Like who's gonna have that like on a freaking cookie?
Well, and like honestly, I've like thought about it, I think more recently, and like I truly just don't understand why sometimes we don't go by like England's like regulation or like, you know, the UK's regulation or like Europeans like food regulation, because in Europe like red dye 40 or whatever the hell it's called is banned. Like you can't like they're not allowed to use it. And like that should be banned here. Like all of this other shit is like banned in the UK and in Europe, and it's like, oh, but we can easily get it. Like just walk into literally any place that sells food, you can get it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, our whole food pyramid is ass backwards.
Insane.
So, yeah, it really opens people's eyes, but I think that's why we're the most obese country in the world, so.
Yeah, except lately I've also been toying with the fact of like going half and just bear with me. Going half like vegetarian. Not in a sense of because like, oh, I don't want to like, I appreciate, you know, the agriculture industry, farming and all of that. And like the meat industry, 100%. But like there are some days where like I find myself, I have not had like one source of like meat, but like just like vegetables and or like fruit and or, you know, yes, of course dairy. So I guess it wouldn't technically be like vegetarian. Well, I guess no, that's just not vegan.
Vegetarian. You're not vegan. Yeah.
And like I'm like, oh, I could 100% just finish this day without like having. But then every now and then it's like, okay, no, like I do like need something, like some source of like either chicken or like steak, like some sort of like other protein. But like I've really toyed with the fact where it's like almost, which again, like to me, everyone's body's different, but like I do believe that like meat is good for you. Or at least, like, my body, like, I can digest it. Like, it doesn't affect me in certain ways. Like, I have friends where they're vegetarian because, like, they can't digest it.
Right.
But I'm like, I feel like I could do it. I feel like it would be, I don't know if it would be good for my body, but like.
I think if you do it in the right ways and you're gaining
like,
enough protein from like different sources. Yeah. No, I think you could definitely do that. I could never give up meat ever.
See, but I just like find myself where I'm like, oh, I didn't even eat like meat today.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that. I'm like hungry as hell if I don't have like meat, which like granted I'm not getting like probably other good supplementive like proteins to supplement that. But yeah, I just don't think that would ever.
Yeah. I've also been like really toying with the fact of like doing like intuitive eating.
Yeah.
Of like, don't eat, like, if you're not hungry, don't eat until you're hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that too. I don't know. Like, I'm hungry. Like, it's every meal time and I'm hungry. Like, I don't know what that's going to do for me. Like, I am hungry.
Yeah. Because again, that's like intuitive. Like your body is hungry at every, you know, like at a certain time every day. Like,
right.
To me, like mine isn't. Like there are some days where like I am like really hungry, like first thing when I wake up, or like I'm hungry like at a certain point for lunch. Yeah. But then there are some times where I'm like, oh no, like I definitely am not hungry right now. Like it's lunchtime and like I should eat, but like I am not hungry. So like why would I eat now? If I'm not hungry.
Yeah, I would like to do, what's it called? Like where you only eat between like a certain time.
Me freaking too, where like you don't eat past like 8 p.m. and like almost like intermittent fasting. But like
yes, that's what it's called.
Yeah, so like you don't eat or like you only drink water. Like you can only drink water after 8 p.m. And like mornings, I think it just kind of depends on like what plan you want to go with.
Right.
But yeah, no, me too. But my schedule is so insane that sometimes I can't actually start dinner until 8 p.m.
Yeah. No, that is very true. That would definitely be very difficult to maintain for sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So, because I've like thought about that too, where I'm like, oh, I really don't want to eat past 8 p.m. or like really even like 7:30, but I'm like,
here we are at 8:02
the way my lifestyle is right now, it's just like sometimes I don't have another choice. But like normally,
and I mean like you can do other things.
Yeah,
like, you know.
But like normally past like 9:30, I'm not really that hungry. Like if it were to be like, because like there are some times that I work late, like I work till 9 something, and like sometimes those days I'm like I'm not even hungry. Like I'm not even gonna eat dinner. I'm just gonna go home and go to sleep.
Sometimes I even do that after the podcast where I'm like, God, I've just like talked for like over an hour. Like it's 8:30, it's almost 9, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed. Like I don't even want to think about making anything or like eating anything. And sometimes I do make something, and then I sit down. I'm like,
you eat half of it.
I'm not even hungry. Yeah.
Well, and that's the problem that I've been running into lately. Not for dinner, because I feel like I'm always pretty hungry for dinner. But like for lunch, like I will like pack a whole lunch, and like I'll be hungry. I sit down, I take a few bites, and I'm like, okay, I'm not hungry anymore. Like I don't want to eat it. So then I have like all of this food that I've just wasted.
Yeah. Yep. No, I need to be better about like just the food I eat.
I've been cooking a lot.
I have not, and I need to get back on that train fast.
You will. You will.
Yeah, but I think that's the end of our little health journey for all of those who were participating.
Yeah, for sure. I really have like 2 more things that I want to say.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so well, number 1, Chappell Roan was on SNL. She dropped a new song. I don't know if she fully dropped it, but like she sang an unreleased song. Didn't really get to listen to it, but I don't know. Just thought I would put that out in the world.
So I saw you put that, and can I be so honest?
What?
I could not give a shit less about her now. I truly couldn't.
Dead. That's funny.
There's everything she's been doing. I'm just like, you say you hate to be famous and this and that, yet you're making more songs and like releasing more things and going on SNL to promote that. kick rocks. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that.
so, don't care.
I'm dead.
No, kidding.
Okay, and then, so I have been keeping the word, and I have been watching Monsters on Netflix. I am not very far into it because I just really have not had time, especially like this next month. There are at least once or twice a week I'm going to be working late.
Yeah.
But I have been watching Monsters. And like everything aside of like why everyone hated it and like basically just it not being super factual and a lot of it is dramatized. Holy shit, I think this is one of the best shows I've ever watched.
Really, I freaking still haven't started it. I need to start it.
The acting, the directing, like, and I hate to like nerd out because like I'm really not that type of person. I think as I've gotten older, I've like noticed it a lot, or I think because like Morgan notices like things, the way like things are filmed, like if it's one full take or you know like so on and so forth. Like he always notices and like he points it out, so then it makes me notice it and then like appreciate it based on like you know the work and like the art that went into it. Mm-hmm. If you're watching it, or if you've already watched it, or if you're going to watch it, season 1, I think there's only one season, but like episode 5, insane. So it's the same director that directed Dahmer. I didn't fully really watch that show. I really just couldn't. Kind of freaked me out.
Scared me, yeah.
And so episode 5 of Monsters, and I'm not gonna like give anything away. It is a 33-minute episode of one conversation, no cut, straight filming from the very beginning of the episode to the very end. Entire just dialogue focused on one face. The entire 33 minutes.
What?
When I tell you it was me watching that scene was like a movie, because I'm sitting there and I'm like my face would react just like to the things that were being said. It was just like,
yeah,
oh my god, like reaction like every couple of minutes, and like literally by the end of the entire episode, like tears just streaming down my face.
God, I need to start it. Ugh.
And literally afterwards, Morgan and I looked at each other and we were like, holy shit. One take. And so then, of course, we had to look it up because we're like, so Morgan's typing in Monsters episode, and literally episode 5 automatically pops up. Like, thousands of people have searched it.
Yeah.
They filmed the scene, like this one scene, 8 times. So 4 times over 2 days. So basically they were given the script. It's 2 characters that are in this scene. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to give away much, but like there's 2 characters that are in the scene, and the camera's only focused on one of them. Like the other person is sitting with their back towards the camera. So like literally only one person is like in view of the camera. The other person is in view, but like their back's towards them. So they were given the script, they studied, memorized the lines, and then the director was like, y'all aren't going to rehearse together. Like, if you have your lines memorized, we're going to go straight to film. Like, we're just going to film this right off the bat.
Okay.
So they filmed it 8 times. They did not mess up one time on their lines. Straight through every single time without a hitch. They only filmed it 8 times to get the emotion right.
What?
And it was the 8th, that was the last and final take that they ended up using in the show. When I tell you, like, and it's crazy because, like, all of the other episodes aren't filmed like that.
Like that? Mm-hmm.
Because there's a similar scene in, like, the episode before. But it's filmed entirely different. Like, entirely different. There's a lot of cuts in that, like, scene with, like, that dialogue. There's a lot of clips. Like, it's cut up.
Yeah.
But this one was fully straight through. And an entire episode no cuts of just a conversation, 33-minute long conversation. And I didn't even notice. Like, I was just like, so like, it was almost like hypnotizing. And like, at a certain point, I looked at Morgan, I was like, this has been one cut. And I didn't even realize that the camera was like zooming in the whole time. Like, I was so like locked in that like all of a sudden I like, for some reason, like kind of looked away and then realized that like, oh shit, we're closer. Like, I was confused. So good.
Yeah, I've never been the one to be like, oh, this is one take, this is two, this is all chopped up. So I'm curious to watch it now and see if I can like obviously tell.
It was so good. And like, again, there's like a lot surrounding the show and just like its accuracy, especially like with, you know, the boys being, you know, put up to possibly get parole or not.
Right.
And just, you know, of course, it's like, don't give people lines that aren't here anymore, that like you don't actually know what happened, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No, the show's so good. Like, it really is. And I mean, we were kind of like, if this, at least this one scene isn't up for like some sort of award, like,
yeah,
that's insane if it's not.
Okay, fine, I'll like actually freaking start it whenever I get around to it.
And like,
I want to watch it so
and
bad.
like, it's obviously it's a good show if like you're conflicted. Obviously, you know, we all know the characters did something really bad, but like, it's a good show because you feel like remorse for them.
Yeah.
Like, you feel empathy for them, and like
even when you know what they've done.
Yeah. And like, that's the crazy part, is like, it gets you. I mean, of course, it's all in the writing and everything, and obviously it's fictionalized, but like,
Right. No, yeah, I was listening to a podcast, the Megyn Kelly podcast, and she had I think it's their attorney on.
Really?
Yeah. He's like a huge attorney, and they were talking about monsters, and the attorney was basically just saying that he hates how big monsters gotten, because like, that's not, like, it's so fictionalized. Like, it's not like a true documentary, it's a docu-series, and they both agree that they hate the word docu is even like in it, because it makes people think that it is like realistic and this and that, and that not. There's like some major points that like aren't right. But I was very curious like to watch it once again after he said that, because they do have a documentary and then they have a docu-series. And it's just, he said that the docu-series got started because they knew they were probably going to, like, this case was going to get brought up again and they were going to go to court for it again. Yeah. So it's just obviously brought hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, like, the insights, and like, people will be tuning in to this trial, you know, if that's, you know, parole the first day, whatever it's going to be.
I kind of feel like that it won't be like their trial, or like, I don't think it'll be publicized, because I don't think it'll be like a real trial. I think it's just like a hearing up for parole, and like, you know, so I don't know if it'll be publicized. I'll be curious. I don't know, because I don't know how that specific works.
How big all this has gotten, I feel like it kind of has to be. Yeah. But I know it's only like basically taking back the fact of like being able to get out on parole or not.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like a traditional, you know, like what we think of like as trial. But it's very.
But then you relate it to like Gypsy Rose.
But was hers
like
on? I don't think hers was publicized.
I don't think hers was publicized a lot, but it wasn't like just parole. It was like her getting.
Yeah, I also just don't think that they'll be like wanting to get into the public eye, because I feel like Gypsy Rose did a lot from prison, of like speaking out like publicly from prison. Like, she did a whole like docu-series from prison, right? And like, they, I think, are just kind of like, listen, like, we want to get this all like in the.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like,
they've
done
been
in the past. Like, we don't want to think about this anymore. We don't want to relive it anymore.
Well, they don't even know what a world is like with social media. Like, let's start there.
No,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? They've been in prison this
For
entire
30
time. I mean,
something years.
yeah, for 30 something years. And it's also just sometimes like a little concerning too of like how you're going to adapt to this new environment.
Yeah. So I truly don't think that they'll like do any of I really don't think that they will like want to be publicized, because another thing like Kim Kardashian, obviously she does like a whole lot of work in like prison reform and all of that. Like she went to go visit them, but like normally she kind of like not documents everything, but like, you know, does document some things, and she didn't. She just all she did was release the essay over them and like their story. She did bring the guy that plays Eric in the show. He went with her to like meet them. And I mean, obviously I think it was very private and like no one knew that they were going to go meet them. So I just truly think that they're like, no, we're like normal people. Like we want all of this behind us.
Yeah, I'd be curious, because you have to remember they grew up in a very rich family in Beverly Hills. They've always been in the spotlight. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Obviously that it's changed
so say,
over
Kassidy,
30 plus years
Kassidy,
you were in prison. Like,
you and I want to be famous. Sometimes it's hard for me to like imagine someone else being like, no, I don't want to. But I don't think that they do. I really don't.
Okay, fair enough. I need to watch it. I'm speaking out of my butt. I don't even know what any of this is or any.
Yeah, you really need to watch it. And like, again, I'm not promoting anything that they did. You know, and obviously like the show's very fictionalized, but like if you're looking at it at a perspective of like the talent, the way it was written, and like you know, not taking into account that like it is real people. Like I hate to say that, but just kind of like looking at it just basically separated from the real life events. It's a really good show. And I know that two actors in it, I think they're like somewhat new to the scene. I know at least one of them is. Like I think they haven't done anything this big, and they're very talented. That's all I have to say. They're very talented.
Okay. Awesome. Well, hopefully next week I can actually contribute something to this and say that I've watched an episode.
Again, also trigger warning, it is tough to watch and like to hear some of the things. Like, of course it is tough. Like, not promoting any of it at all, but it is a really good show. But again, trigger warning, just because like obviously it covers topics that no one wants to hear, no one wants to talk about, and or relive. So
right.
Just want to get that out there.
I couldn't agree more. I will be tuning in to see what it's all about, how the acting is, and just kind of the story behind it all.
Honestly, get to episode 5 and like you'll be like, okay, yeah, this just wins it for me. Because I'm telling you,
I'll check back in.
Yeah. Okay. But I think that's all I have for this week's episode.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much again for tuning in. We are not only a sports, finance, but also a health podcast. So please come to us for all your health needs. And we'll be here to help you. But we will talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.